Hey, what's up, everybody? It's JT with Trapper Barnes. Trapper, how are you?
Great, JT. How are you?
Man, I'm excited. It's been a great day so far. You and I have been communicating since before the sun came up, talking about
Absolutely.
all kinds of stuff. We've had a fantastic workout.
We did.
Yeah, I thought it was a good workout, and then our producer, Miss Tiffany, she gave us a mid-workout challenge that helped take it to the next level.
Yeah, she basically said, "Y'all are weak, and you need to lift more weights." So, yeah,
And we did.
we did.
We lifted more weights.
Challenge accepted.
Challenge accepted. That's
Yes.
exactly right.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. So, great to be back for this episode of the Listen Up podcast, brought to you by Room for Up.
Yeah.
It was an exciting week. It was an exciting week.
Busy.
Very busy, very busy. But relative to this podcast, something special happened this week. Is we had the first 4 episodes drop.
We did.
How'd that make
Yeah.
you feel, man?
Excited, man. It was great, and got a lot of feedback, which just from whether it was a text message or somebody reaching out via Facebook or the YouTube, like that's exciting.
So let me ask you a question. Did the amount of feedback that the podcast received, or the pod? I've recently heard a lot of very cool people calling it the pod. Hey,
We're not that cool.
we are not that cool. Did any of the feedback like surprise you? How did it make you feel?
It was great. Like I don't know if I would say I was surprised. Not to sound overconfident in the content that we've shared so far, but I feel like that we're doing it right.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I know this. We're doing it from the heart.
Yeah.
That's for sure. And so, in that spirit, we wanted to drop this episode. We wanted to do it from the heart. As always, it seems like the topic for the day's discussion, usually, we have these plans like, hey, we'll do this on this day and this on this day, but it usually never works out that way. It's usually because of something that was mentioned in the previous episode or two.
Well, you know why a plan with us never works out?
Why's that?
Because we're both high personalities, and planning is not our.
It's not our forte.
It's not our strength.
Boy, the ideas flow though, don't they?
Oh yeah.
So you said something in our previous podcast. Actually, it was 2 podcasts ago. We were talking about the importance of circling up and the emphasis that we should all place on our circle of 5.
Yeah.
And you said something during that podcast about, in order to grow, sometimes it means we have to expand our circle, but sometimes, and this can be a little painful, sometimes we have to leave our circle. We have to
Right.
we have to move on from our circle. They're not.
Right.
It's no longer doing what it's supposed to do for anybody.
Yeah.
And we talked about that being like a breakup. And
Yeah.
most of us have been through a breakup, and we usually associate that with a person, and certainly it's people in our circle. But the thing that spoke to my heart was that it's not just people. It can be people, places, and things that we need to break up with. And that got us talking about the benefit of having good habits, but the importance of identifying negative habits,
True.
things that are taking us away from our goal as opposed to moving forward.
Correct.
And man, it's been rolling in my mind and thinking back over my life and some of the habits that either I identified or other people helped me identify. And I think when we talk about habits, people naturally go to a couple different places. I think they'll go to like drugs, they'll go to alcohol, they'll go to substances, and that is absolutely, those can absolutely be bad habits that that you need to break up with. But more common in our society, more common in most people's experience, would be things that maybe don't jump to the forefront of your mind.
As you're sitting here talking, it makes me think of of what the majority of the population thinks bad habits are.
Mm.
I think they can be mental. I think they can be physical. They can be, health related.
Yeah.
They can be action related. So just think, like I just said it a while ago, we're not planners. Like that's just not built into our personality.
Yeah.
And so we have to surround ourselves in our circle. We need people that can keep us on track, right?
Yeah. If left to our own devices, people naturally get into routines.
Mhm.
And sometimes those routines can be incredibly positive.
Going through the motions.
Going through the motions. That's right. I heard somebody talk the other day. They were saying, most people will drive the same route to work every single day.
I'm guilty.
Yeah, me too. But they can't tell you what happened on that route between the time they left the house and the time that they arrived to their destination because they were on autopilot. And assuming that that's a good route, a good habit, most things work out just fine.
Highway hypnosis.
Highway hypnosis. Yeah. So basically, I think, and sorry for the camera shake there, guys. I think in life we can develop some highway hypnosis.
Sure.
And develop some habits that aren't taking us any closer to our goals. They're actually taking us further away from our goals. The issue is when we can't identify that, refuse to acknowledge it, or we don't have the people in our life that will help point that out.
So what I'm hearing you say is it's easy to put the blinders on and gain tunnel vision and focus, and good or bad, right?
That's right.
I can get so focused on a goal, like the tunnel vision's there. I see nothing else around me,
That's exactly.
and I'm gonna win because that's just who I want to. That's built into me, the competitive side, right? And that can be a bad thing. It can be a good thing because I'm gonna get there, but it could be devastating because I'm blocking out everything else.
That's right. That's right. So oftentimes the success or accomplishments that we receive in life or achieve in life are going to be directly tied. They're going to be directly tied to our habits,
Right?
Good or bad. And so in the spirit of breakup, I just kind of wanted to talk a little bit about some of the habits that many, if not all of us have, that we may need to step away from and move in a different direction. I think the first one that I think of, oftentimes it's probably the most abused substance in the United States of America today. And I think that's food. I think that oftentimes we have an unhealthy relationship with food, the way that we think about it, the way that we use it. And I know for me personally, we can talk in later episodes. Early in my life, I had some alcohol related bad habits that I had to get rid of.
Yeah.
With the grace of God, I was able to do that. But here's the funny thing about habits: they're not just limited to one thing. It's not like you just solve that equation and the rest of life is you're coasting, right? So for me, one of the things that I've identified in my life is that I have a unique relationship with food, and in that 90% of the time, let's say that just so that I sound cool, right? I would say the majority of the time, I think I pay attention to what I eat. I know what makes my body feel good. I know what allows my body to respond well to training, to help me sleep, all of the things. But there are times, whether it's a high stress level, it could be a high stress level, or it could even be a time of celebration.
Yeah.
Man, I will pull the lever on sugar. And I will just begin to consume sugar at such a high amount that I start to feel bad. I start to become unmotivated. Based on my family history, that is certainly not something that I need to I need to be using often, right? And so I can just tell you, I know when I'm not eating it, when I'm not eating sugar, I feel great. But when I start eating sugar, I just want more and more and more. So like nutritionally, that's something that I have to always, that's a habit that unfortunately, I have to break up with that habit. Usually before Thanksgiving, it starts around Halloween, and it starts with those little bitty candies. You know what I'm saying? Where I wake up in the cupboard and there's
Yeah.
40 wrappers around me, and
How old are you? You said cupboard.
I'm too old to be eating those candies. I'll tell you that. So, like for me, that's one way nutritionally. That's a bad habit that I have to break up with every single year. It seems like.
And I think this is such a great subject, and it's easy to talk about, right?
Sure.
It's easy to identify.
We all got to eat.
We have to eat because that's the fuel that gets our bodies moving.
Yeah.
Here's the problem. There's a lot of easy things that we can go to the drive-through and get a burger because we don't have time. We're in a hurry to get to we live in a chaotic life, right? And so when things are just crazy busy around the holidays, something's going on at work and you just need something at lunch so you run and get a burger, you run and get fries, you run and do, whatever that looks like. And we know that's not healthy.
Yeah.
It's not. I don't believe that people, if we can take the mind shift step to break up with see what I did there? To break up with our chaotic lifestyle and slow down. It's not that much harder to cook food at home on a Sunday and meal plan to take for lunch and prepare yourself. Preparation is key in anything that you want to change in life.
Yeah, and you know what? I think you hit on something that we all need to break up with right now in our society. I don't think that it's getting. I know it's not. I'm going to stop saying a thing. I know it's not getting any better. You've inspired me to do that. Mike Bro, gifted pastor, wonderful speaker, recently did a series that I listened to on hurry, and there is actually a medical term now called hurry disorder. And it was so impactful because he described symptoms of hurry disorder. And he said, if you have one or two of any of the following, symptoms, it is highly likely that you suffer from hurry disorder. And brother, I'm telling you, he just went down the list and I'm like, yep, that's me. That's me. That's me. That's me.
We get in a routine and it's easy we got to do this. We can't miss this. We have to go here.
Yeah. We've got, that's one thing that I think we all need to really look at in our lives and say, like, where, because we're pushed and pulled in so many different directions. Everybody's trying to live up to a standard that's been set that candidly is based on perfection instead of progress. So breaking up with hurry I think that is something that can be so powerful. Also too, breaking up with, we say people, places, and things, breaking up with excuses.
Yep.
I know that's something that I have to break up. I've got to break up with excuses. It seems like every day.
Yeah. And it's a challenge, right? It's everybody runs into that.
It's uncomfortable.
But it's easy to make an excuse. Yeah. We did it the other day, right? We talked about working out.
Yeah.
And you had got to the house and I'd worked a little longer doing some stuff. And then we're like, hey, let's go. And what'd you tell me? And I was comfortable. I almost sent you a text and said, hey, we're not doing it today.
I was 30 seconds away.
30 seconds away.
About to hit send. And I think that takes us back to the beginning where we talk about breaking up with parts of our circle that don't hold us to that word that you use all the time, accountability. So in review, we all have things in our lives that we need to break up with. We have habits that we need to break up with, whether that is a nutritional habit, whether that's a circle habit, whether that's a person, a place, or a thing. We need to cut ties with that so that we can move closer to our goals as opposed to further away. let's land the plane here.
Yeah.
As far as a challenge, like if there's something that you would like to challenge the listeners today,
James, I'm going to go back to what we talk about all the time.
what's that?
Make a list.
Right.
Make a list, write it down, hold yourself accountable, and take action. It sounds simple. It's not. It's hard, but you have to take the first step to make the list, to identify what you need to help with, and then take action. And that list will hold you accountable.
That's right. Guys, you heard Trapper. Get in your quiet place, write down that habit. Most people know in their spirit, in their gut, that thing that's holding them back, the thing that's taking them one step away from the goal as opposed to one step closer. And if that doesn't work, if you, like many people, have those blinders on, ask someone in your life that you trust the most, hey, what's one area, one thing that if I let it go, if I broke up with it, it would take me closer to the life I want as opposed to further away.
Yep.
Man, I've never been so excited to break up in my life.
Let's do it.
All right. Well, guys, let's do it. We thank you for tuning into the Listen Up podcast. As always, we plead with you. We kindly ask that you hit that subscribe button. You like this podcast. Leave comments. Give us some interaction. We love the feedback. It certainly inspires us to do more. Yeah, absolutely. So
like us on Facebook, Instagram. I found out we got a TikTok.
We got a TikTok?
Yeah.
Holy cow.
I don't know how to use it, but we have one.
Well,
so yeah,
hey,
like us.
We're on TikTok, people. We're TikTokers. We are that cool. Let's start calling it a pod. All right, guys. Well, listen, thanks so much for tuning in. Tune in next time for Trapper Barnes. I'm JT. Remember, there's always room for up. We'll see you next time.
See ya.